Okay, hi Sunita, welcome. It's a pleasure to have a conversation with you.
Okay. So let me introduce myself here. My name, as you already know, Sunita Rawat, and I am the face behind Sunita's English Adventure. I love interacting with people, and in the same process, I am improving my English fluency. It's been 4 months that I've been practicing on Skype, and then I post videos on YouTube as well. So my channel is all about English conversational videos, and I started posting some solo videos as well to just share my insights or just impart knowledge, whatever I am experiencing while being on this journey. And we are a close knit family of 4 members. I have two kids, they both are boys. So just enjoying my time with them, nurturing kids, along with that, nurturing my English language skills. So that's a bit about me.
Oh, and that's great. Okay, it was nice to know more about your family, more about you. So, for the viewers of Sunita's channel, let me introduce myself. I'm Mandeep and I run a channel by the name of Fluency Goals. And the focus of the channel is mainly on improving fluency of English learners, and I provide with grammar videos and advanced English learning videos on my channel. So I look forward to taking it further, and I have launched my own website, myfluencygoals.com, where I would be providing with courses and building a community where as English learners we can interact with each other. Okay, now coming to today's topic, Sunita. So today's topic of discussion is digitization and its role in modern communication. So we see that there has been a lot of digitalization in modern era and how it is impacting communication, especially with the advent of AI tools and English learning platforms and apps which provide language interaction for young learners. So we are going to discuss a few points here where Sunita will also be providing some insights, and some insights inputs will be from my side. And we look forward to a healthy and insightful discussion. So, first, I would like to discuss about the global reach of this digitization. So, global reach, by this I mean that it has provided the learners to have interaction globally all over. The learners from different cultures and different countries, they can interact with each other over various platforms like hello talk and freefortalk.com and duolingo. Sunita, what's your insight into this?
Yes, that's definitely true. And this topic is very interesting, I must say. And this is something that we are noticing actually. Earlier, we were learning English through all those traditional methods, through books and going to library, looking for books. And that was kind of a tedious task for us. And it took a long time to learn English during those times, right? But today, it is just available on the click of a finger, right? So, yes, I must say digitalization has helped many people across the world. Those who are just thinking of starting their journey, they can just start like without a second thought because it is available in front of them all the time. The internet is always there, right? So with just one click, they can have access to different platforms, whatever they like, whatever they feel comfortable with. They can start their journey the time they decide, like right away they can start their journey. So this is something they are getting benefit from digitalization, which was not there earlier.
Especially, I recently came across a platform, Quizlet, where they provide vocabulary games and, to enrich vocabulary. And there are many other interactive games to enhance your grammar and your conversational skills. So that is something which we as learners never had an opportunity to. And especially I feel that listening to native speakers over various platforms, it impacts your pronunciation skills and the way you talk a lot, right? One thing this, and another thing that I have noticed, that it is the access to, tools like online dictionaries, quick access wherever you are. So you have not just the meanings at your disposal and the usage of the words, but you can quickly, just as at a click, you can search for the word as well as the correct pronunciation with various accents, UK and US, and that's actually quite helpful. So,
Right,
what do you
absolutely.
think about it?
Mhm. I am on the same page as you because I also have a dictionary, a very thick dictionary, Oxford dictionary with me, and it's been here in my book rack for a long time. But I'm not using it at all actually.
When was the last time you accessed that, physical dictionary?
I must say I never access to it
Right, right. Earlier,
because Google is
when I
already
was
there.
right, when I was in school, I remember we had to, search alphabetically, look for the alphabetical order and look for the
Hmm.
words physically. And if you do not have a dictionary available, then you just have to jot it down to look
Hmm.
later, right?
Hmm.
But now you have everything at your disposal, quick disposal.
Right.
Okay, coming to the next point here, language evolution. Currently, we are seeing that, with the more usage of WhatsApp and text chatting, the language has evolved a lot, especially the shortened words in sentences. So, what is your take? How impactful is that? Is it good or is it bad for language evolution, this evolvement of language over
Hmm.
text messaging?
Yes, I have also noticed this evolution of language over a period of time because Gen Z, what we call it, Gen Z, millennials, and all that. I'm not very
Mhm.
aware of this, but I heard of these terms. So they use lots of slang words and these emojis. They try to be very, concise, and they don't even use words. They'll just talk with emojis only. So that is the way
Right,
they are
right.
talking. But I'm sure that this is going to impact their speaking skills or mingling with people, all those skills, social skills, right? So this is going to have a negative impact on all those things. But it's fine for them, for their group, for their circle, because they are able to understand each other. But we will not be able to understand what they are trying to express, right? So for us, they'll have to have proper communication, like using the words. And I must say, when we talk on phone, or when we when we chat in messages, that time we take help of emojis just to be clear with our thought, because we don't want the
Mhm.
other person to misunderstand whatever we want to say. So for that, we take help of emojis, like the way we take help of body language whenever we express something, so
Right.
that the other person.
Especially, we do not have body language at our disposal, to convey our emotions at that moment. And in writing,
Yes.
especially, these emojis become quite helpful.
Right. And it
Another
is
thing
exciting
that,
at the same
yeah,
time to use
right,
emojis.
right. And but one thing that I feel is sometimes, I have seen young professionals struggling here with this thing, that they are so used to conversations over text, over messages, and sometimes this developed lingo, it seeps into their formal conversations as well. So sometimes when they have to communicate formally over email in business communication, there they struggle a lot. Do you think
Right. Yes,
that's
because they are
true?
accustomed to using all those communication methods, that short communication method, taking shortcuts. So definitely, when they'll go to any professional setting, their tongue will definitely slip here and there because they are accustomed to talking in that manner. So yes, this is going
And
to definitely.
even in writing, our reliance is so much on the AI tools to help us now. Now it's
Hmm.
becoming even more. So earlier we were not so reliant on the AI tools to generate all the emails, contents, and now it's becoming
Hmm.
more habitual. right?
Right. Yes. So that is why we were, into that hard work, looking for a good. That means brain. We were doing brainstorming actually. We were doing all
Right.
by ourselves, and in the process, we are learning a lot and becoming better. But now, even when we think that we'll not use AI much, but then also because it is just in front of us, can't resist taking help of AI, even when we think deliberately that we'll not touch it, but still we tend to touch it and
But
use
we
it.
have to. Somewhere when convenience is at your disposal, convenience takes over the
Yes, yes, yes.
struggle.
Mm.
Okay, and one thing, what solution do you suggest to this, segregating formal conversations from informal conversations?
Mhm.
What can be the solution here?
I must say, if you can be good at both things, if you can manage, then it's good. But if you want to go in one particular way, then you should go for formal communication if you are a working professional, because that formal communication can be used in informal settings as well, right? But
Right.
if I would have to suggest few ways to segregate, like when you go to different settings, then you have to practice in both ways. If you are in a professional setting, you are in your office, just talk in a professional manner always, and don't involve informal talks. But when you are in informal settings, then only go for informal talks, so that deliberately doing this would help.
That was quite insightful, and I think it will benefit people all out there who are struggling with this thing, especially to segregate formal communication from informal communication. So the focus should be more on learning formal communication, because informal, anyhow, even in informal situations, if we tend to use some phrases, some formal phrases, it doesn't hurt, right? But in
Right.
formal situations, it can definitely impact. Okay.
Exactly.
So, so it all boils down to, I think, one thing, that digitalization is definitely helping communication grow in present era, and especially with many tools, language learning tools at disposal of young learners. So, how would you like to conclude this argument?
Hmm. So this digitalization is definitely helping all our learners and even ourselves, and that is why we take help of many apps. Like in my phone, also I have many apps installed for just learning English language. And whenever I'm in a mood of using an AI, then I use AI. And sometimes I take help of this tutoring platform as well to bring that fluency in my language, right? But still, I must say, people are now very confused. They are always puzzled which one to go for, because there is an abundance even on YouTube. I
Right,
would say
right.
something that they have to pay for, they'll think about it twice. But on YouTube also there is a flood of content, so they are so puzzled which channel they should subscribe for and which content they should watch. So this is something, I can say it's one drawback that people are facing. Otherwise, there is benefit, only win-win situation. But to avoid this drawback, there are solutions as well. So you have to follow the one who is experienced and who is expert at this language, so that you would not end up getting something wrong or picking something wrong from people, right? So this is something they can do, and they have to choose wisely, because of the abundance of content. So this is something they have to do.
Especially, the other day I was just browsing YouTube and I saw some title and an English language learning channel, and learn for improve English. And when the title itself has grammatical errors, I don't know.
Hmm.
So you should choose wisely, especially when learning language, whether the other person who is teaching you holds that ability or not. But then from the second language learners, if it comes to, the methods of learning, then it definitely helps, because those learners, they have gone through all those processes that they
Hmm.
discuss how it helped them to grow in language. So that is another aspect to look at it. Okay, so I think That is it from my side.
Right. I would like to add on, like for people who are on intermediate level and advanced level, they can definitely gauge the content and choose accordingly. But for beginners, it is really very struggling. So for them, I must say they can go for the kind of content that they can understand first of all,
Mm.
and because as a beginner, we are not very conscious about making mistakes. We don't have to
Right.
pay heed to making mistakes, but to bring fluency. So for them, they can go for any content, whatever they like. It's just that they should be able to understand, and at least
Mm.
I think that everybody can judge which content is good and which is not. So
Right,
accordingly, they
right.
have to choose instead of recklessly watching anything, whatever they are coming across.
Especially if you are at a very, basic beginner level, then the translation method contents are also there, but they work only at a very basic level where you are
Mhm.
at A1, A2 level. And if you have grown beyond that level and you are at B1, B2, then you should definitely overcome this translation method and follow the direct learning method. That's what I feel, but that is what
Hmm.
I believe.
Right. There are many channels on YouTube who translate that translate from English to Hindi, and they are getting many views. They are getting many subscribers. That means many people are watching them actually and
Yes.
following the same method.
Mm.
Initially, it is fine, but if you want to improve, then you have to go for all English content.
Yes,
No Hindi
A1,
in
A2
between.
level, I think it works. A1, A2 is the basic level, and from
Mhm.
B1, B2 level, you should follow the direct method of learning,
Right,
right?
right. You have to get out of
Right,
that comfort zone because they are in
right,
that comfortable zone, understanding things in Hindi and they are finding it better. But to improve, you have to go for complete English.
right. Okay, so Sunita, thank you so much for interacting with me, and it was all a pleasure to have an interaction with you. And I learned a lot from you. Thank you for your valuable insights.
Thank you so much. You just spoke my words, and I want to say the same to you. And your insights were also truly valuable, and I'm sure that our audience is going to get a lot of meaning out of it. And they'll also think about it, whatever we discussed.
Right, right. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Good night.